Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. What does a businessman,
an entrepreneur,
and a Marine veteran
have to say about what's going on in the world today? Join us and find out.
In 3, 2,
kick it! Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. With me to my right is Matt Amos. To my left is Troy Trussell. I am Chet Sears, your host. We are so glad that you are back with us. And I don't know how much we've talked. We mentioned this on a couple of episodes or whatnot, but of all the 3+ millions of podcasts that are out there, we're in the top 5%, which is pretty awesome.
Top 5. We want to get the top 1% though.
It's going to be really hard because most everybody up there, they got into podcasting after, being on The Office or having their own TV show or being famous outside of podcasting, and we are scraping our top 5% based on you, our listener, listening and sharing, and we are so grateful that you do. And today we got a great show for you. We're going to hear what's on Troy's mind. Matt's going to give us a good word, and in the middle of that, we're going to talk about our top 3 fun things we remember from high school. So, Troy, what's on your mind?
All right. You inspired me last podcast with the top 3. And with your what's on your mind.
Yeah.
Just talking about something that needs to stop.
Mm-hmm.
So I have made a list. The top 10 things that need to stop right now.
Stop it.
Just stop doing it.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Top 10, like Letterman.
Just like Letterman.
Number 10.
And number 1 was never the best one.
No.
Letterman.
Yeah, it was always a horrible letdown.
Right. So
yeah.
I kind of went with that thing.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Number 10. Road rage. It needs to stop. Even if it's warranted, you need to learn how to control yourself and stop with the road rage.
Yes. I agree. Don't stress out about that stuff. Quit being so self-absorbed to think that you're better than everybody else and nobody else can make mistakes when they drive around you.
That's right. And hey, while we're on the topic, just put your phone down. Talking to myself too. I mean, we all do it way too much.
Speak for yourself.
Throw the phone in the back seat or something if you can't handle it.
You know what?
You know what I look at my phone the most
when you're driving? How are you on your phone putting soy sauce on an egg roll and driving at the same time?
No, I'm picking a song is a lot harder now when you have your phone.
No, it's not. If you have the Apple CarPlay,
I need to get it.
It's all on your dash.
I know. And even looking at your dash is, man, we went from the dash to the phone. It's all bad.
Yeah.
It's all bad. Number 9, table manners.
That needs to start.
Horrific table manners at restaurants need to stop. I go to some foodie events. It can get pretty bad, people.
So you're chewing with your mouth open?
Chewing with your mouth open, talking while you're eating, smacking when you're trying to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Stuff's got to stop.
Oh, I'll straight up murder some people in that situation.
Yeah,
you're dead.
It's bad.
You're dead. Like it's over. I have thought about killing you, people. That community that's eating with their mouth open and chewing and talking.
Yeah.
Can't take it.
Dead to Chet.
You're dead to me.
I was there way before you. I think one of our first episodes is misophonia.
Misophonia.
I've got it.
Which is the fear of hearing people chew.
It's not a fear. Troy, I'm not scared of it.
I fear what I will do to someone.
Yes.
I fear for someone's life.
I will say this. When we moved from the South to the Great Plains,
yeah,
it got worse. Like, I think manners in Kansas in general worse than manners in the South.
I would generally agree. And it gets worse as you go north, I think.
I don't know.
Southern hospitality.
Well, I mean, it's just the expectation that you have to be polite at the table.
You got the Southern
and being polite, it means I don't see your food in your mouth as you're crushing it into smaller pieces.
And the Southern gentleman,
Yes.
refined.
Right.
Refined Southern.
Man, we get on
because
our
I'm
kids.
telling you, you can get down there in the deep South sometimes.
Yeah.
They might be polite, but
I'll tell you.
They're blowing food all over you too.
So the other day, where were we going? Stone was home, and we were going over to somebody's house to eat, or somebody's coming over to I can't remember. But he grabbed a hat, and I said, "What you grabbing?" It was a baseball hat, I was like, "What are you grabbing that for?" He's like, "Oh, I was thinking I was just going to wear this." I'm like, "Yeah, but we're going to dinner." And he said, "So?" And I said, "You don't wear a hat at the table." And he said, "What?" And I was like, "Have you ever seen me wearing a hat all day? And when we sit down to eat, I take my hat off." And I typically would, I sit down at the table and I'll take it and toss it on a chair in the living area. He said, "Yeah, but I noticed that, but that's because we're about to pray." And I said, "Yeah, I take the hat off to pray, but I also don't go put my hat back on after that's over because you don't eat at the table with a hat." And he's like, I didn't know that, And so I was raising him. You could observe that I never wear it, but I didn't say I take my hat off because you're sitting at a table and you shouldn't be wearing a hat at the dinner table, especially at home. And he's like, "Oh, I didn't get that at all." So now he does. But anyway, the gentlemanly thing.
Yes.
And I had a conversation with my daughter. She said, "What?" or something like that. Hey,
What?
To her mom. And I was like, "You realize if we were down south, somebody would slap you for that. Like, you ma'am, it's not
still getting on to my kids about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Anyway, I think manners are less important in Kansas,
I would tend to agree.
and it's frustrating.
I don't think that they're less important. I just think they're observed less.
Well, that's because they're not important.
I wouldn't say that they're not important.
I would say the people here don't think they're important.
I would say that they're important.
They are important, but
Thank you.
not people that
That's what I'm
here
saying.
think that. All right, number 3.
All right,
Number 7.
number 8.
8.
Number 8. Not kissing my wife. That doesn't need to stop.
What?
10 things that need to stop. One of them is not kissing my wife.
I was talking to my wife about this list, and I need a filler for number 8. That's what it was. I said, "Man, that's a good one. I'm going to put it on there."
It's a double negative, though.
Right.
10 things that need to stop. Not kissing my wife.
Right. So I'm not going to stop.
Okay.
You get it?
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
You not kissing your wife, not everybody.
Right. No, me.
Everybody, stop kissing my wife. It needs to stop now. Putting my foot down.
That's going to be a good short. All right. Number 7. Prequels. Stop making them.
I'm with you on that.
Especially in the Star Wars universe. You know what? In fact, just stop making Star Wars stuff. You believe it? I said it.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway.
Come up with a new story.
New story, yes. Amen. Prequels.
Star Worlds.
Hey, there you go. I like it. Number 6. Tipping.
Okay. All in general.
In general, it needs to stop, especially in the food industry. We need to do away with tipping, and people just need to pay their employees what they're worth.
Okay.
There's some restaurants that do it. It can be done.
There are restaurants that pay their employees what they're worth, but those restaurants still require you to tip.
Not all of them.
I haven't been in a restaurant in the U.S. that doesn't require a tip.
When pigs fly.
That's not a sit-down restaurant.
Yeah, it is.
No, you order at the front.
You pick up your food at the
Well,
front.
yeah, I'm saying tipping everywhere. I mean, you get asked to tip at freaking Subway.
Yeah. We are all on board with that.
Yeah.
But like if you go into let's say
If I go to Olive Garden,
or Wine Dive and you sit down and somebody comes and serves you, what would you like? Can I get you some water? Let me pour you some water.
I'm going to tip them, but I'm saying
You're saying get rid of those tips too.
I'm saying get rid of those and pay your people what they're worth.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm halfway there.
yeah.
Because if you're a good wait person, you're going to make more money on tips than you would be an hourly rate.
Survival of the fittest.
Pay them what they're worth.
It doesn't work that way.
I know, but it could.
You pay them what they're worth. Don't put it on the employer. You as the customer pay them what they're worth.
If they got paid more money up front instead of $2.36 an hour, if they got paid more, they would probably do a better job across the board.
I don't think so.
I would call someone right now if we had the hookup on the phone.
The fact that they make $2.36 an hour, if they really want to do well and they really want to make money, they're going to do a really, really good job. There's incentive behind the $2.36.
I'm with you 100%. 100% on board, Troy.
Subway, coffee shops.
When you're not getting waited on.
I draw the
100%.
line. I draw the line at the establishment where you are wait to be seated and you go sit down and then everybody comes and make sure that it happens for you. Drinks, chips and salsa, take your order, bring you your food. But if you walk up to a counter and order and then sit down, no tip. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think
I say that as this weekend I did tip the people that made my coffee.
I will tell you that when I travel overseas, you don't tip. So
anywhere
it
ever.
works. Yeah, you kind of do in some cases. So the ever thing, there's still a place to fill that
All
thing
I'm
out
saying
on the
is,
receipt.
I think there's a way it could work,
Yeah,
and we're just in this. Got to freaking.
It's
moving the wrong way.
Yeah,
is
it
what
needs
I'm
to stop
saying.
moving. Put it back where it was.
It
and
needs to
just
go
leave it
back to
alone.
the middle and leave it alone,
Yeah.
or push it back the other way. But
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I shouldn't have to click a no in front of ordering a salad bar at Jason's Deli. I shouldn't even be given the option to tip on that. Like, really?
Yeah, that's so dumb.
I'm going to walk to the end here and you're going to hand me an empty plate and do it yourself. I should not have to tip for that.
The ones that really piss me off are the ones that ask you for the tip, like standing there before they make your food. Because now I'm obligated.
That's at Jason. I'm making my food at Jason's Deli and they're asking me for a tip.
But like it,
I don't feel obligated. I don't feel bad about that. Zero.
I do because I'm like, if I don't put something, the booger's going to be in my sandwich.
I'll eat a booger.
That's the difference between me and Chet. I will not.
I will not eat a booger
If
either.
you don't know what's in there, you don't know.
I'll be like,
How much of a percent is going to keep them from putting a booger in your food?
I don't know. I hope 20.
Oh, man. Okay.
All right. Number 5, having no term limits in Congress. This has to stop.
agreed.
There should be term limits for everything in the government.
I think everybody thinks that except the people there.
They thought
pretty
that
sure.
when they were running for office, but when
They thought that before, then they got there and they're like, oh, this is a really good life. I really don't want to
I
end this.
really like this.
Number 4, remove the plus and don't add any more letters.
Yeah.
Just remove it altogether.
No. I'd back that up.
LGBTQ,
Yeah.
remove the plus and add no more letters. Let's just go back to LGB. It's fine.
You down with LGB?
Down with LGB. Yeah, you know me. All right, number 3. This needs to stop. Pursuing equal rights for pedophiles.
That is crazy.
It's crazy, disgusting, ridiculous, and it needs to stop.
It's crazy that you even have to say that.
Yes, it is. Number 2, not securing our borders. This needs to stop. We're getting have to look out for suspicious digging
Diggins.
because our borders are not secure.
It's coming.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
It's
It's gonna
gonna
be a
happen.
thing. That's gonna be a thing.
And it's going to be, life is going to change rapidly at that point.
Yep. And number 1, abortion.
They're not getting me a third time, but yeah, abortion needs to stop.
They're not getting you. IEDs.
They're not getting me a third time.
They're not going to get you a third time.
I'm on my game this time.
You got your wits about you.
There you go.
That's
it. Top 10 things that need to stop right now.
I like it. Thank you, Troy. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with the top 3 memories from high school.
Are you driving traffic to your website? Do you have an engaging homepage? Better yet, does your homepage have a video? We recently created a video for a client about his business and the services they provide. Since he placed the video on the homepage of their website, he has had a number of clients specifically say they decided to use his services because of that video. At Trussell Media, we help businesses create engaging videos to host on their websites, email to clients, and use in their social media marketing. Contact us if you're interested in creating a video for your homepage today. TrussellMedia.com. Fill out the form at TrussellMedia.com/contact. Let us help you tell your story through video.
We're back.
Fun things.
And
not
Matt is going to give us his top 3 fun things he remembers from high school. That's a memory.
Number 3, game day.
Okay. Football?
No, not football. Track, cross country, basketball.
You wore those little track shorts around the class all day?
No. You actually dressed up on game day. So we had to wear like slacks, button up, and a tie. Like we actually had to dress up, come game day, and like the whole day was just set. It was different, and so
football players did that.
Yeah, your mind was in a different mindset when you showed up. It's like, hey, we're here, we're representing, blah blah blah. It was always a good time. I hated doing it at the time because I was like, I'm a kid. I've got one tie and I've got one dress shirt, and we had to go buy slacks, so, but game day was always fun. Number 2, drama club. We didn't actually have a club. We just did, we did theater. But the practices and then all the people, we just always had a lot of fun together. It was always just a really good time. Which kind of leads to number 1, which is group movies at the Warren Theater. So a bunch of our friend group worked at the Warren, and this is when it would just first opened, and so it was like the place to go watch movies.
Yeah,
and through the buddies, you got discount tickets, discount beverages, popcorn, candy. And then you go in and they had the scoop on what was going to be the best movie. And so, you'd get in and we'd all go watch it as a group. And it was always really good time. I can't remember how many movies we all just kind of, our little friend group just would always go to the theater and just kind of chill out on a matinee on like a Saturday, Sunday afternoon, whatever, and watch movies together. That was always a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'll go next.
Back when I used to go to theaters, I have not been to a theater in a long time.
So my 30-year reunion's coming up this year.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I know.
He's 30. Old, folks.
30.
Isn't that crazy? And they're going to get together. I'm not going.
He wasn't invited.
It's too hard for me to get back. And it's in the middle of the summer. It's going to be hard to pull all that off. But anyway, that got me to thinking. That's one of the reasons it's top 3. I enjoy, there's a few folks that I really cut up with a lot. And it came back to me. So this last weekend, came home from work and my wife is like, hey, I got a couple boxes that you need to go through because we're cleaning out the office. And I was not necessarily excited about that after working all day, but after a little break, got in there, started digging through some stuff, and I found a journal that I had to keep as a assignment as a senior in my advanced English class with Miss Hamlet, which I thought was pretty funny. And I could tell, and this is maybe only me looking in the mirror here, and you guys may not find this humorous, but I was like, man, I was even funny back then. So it's
already funny.
In this journal entry on April 28th, which, it's almost exactly 30 years from when I wrote this. The question that I had to write about, what would you do if you were shut up in a box by yourself for 3 days? My response is I'd probably catch up on some sleep, because whoever locked me in there is going to get their butt kicked when I get out. And then I would write a journal about the time I was locked up in a box and make a whole bunch of money. And then see, Troy thinks that was funny. And then
good.
from a couple days prior to that.
So this is your 18-year-old self, or?
Oh, no, I was 17. I wasn't going to turn 18 after I was in college. If you could be any animal for a day, what would you choose and why? I would be a bear. And I would also be a bear during hibernation. This will help me catch up on my sleep. And I wouldn't have a chance to be vicious, though. Like, because a hibernating bear, I wouldn't have no viciousness chance. So, unfortunately, a sleeping bear is what I said. But maybe I should be a vicious bear. It's just a day. So anyway, there's more. But
I see a theme here.
so I lacked a lot of sleep.
Catching up on sleep.
Was a priority my
Yep.
senior year of high school. Yeah. So anyway,
Why are you so tired? Let's figure this out.
I was reading my Bible, man.
Was it drugs?
No. The
Oh, that was Troy.
all the extra stuff. Matt, you kind of spoke to this, but the sports, the science fair, being in band, all the stuff that you did with your friends. Like they were in, and so I went to a small high school. We knew everybody. Everybody knew everybody. We were a small class, and so it was just a lot of fun to be around each other. Every time you showed up somewhere, you knew somebody. And if you're going to the science fair down in Baton Rouge, then you know the people that were going with you. If you're playing basketball, you know everybody on the bus. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And then number one, the friends. I really do look back and I think that's one reason it's kind of a bummer that I won't be able to hit the 30-year reunion. But there's a lot of cool people. And one of the things I really like about social media is we're able to, keep tabs on each other. But I also get to see them be parents and see how their kids are turning out. And there's just a lot of cool stuff about that. I mean, there's a good friend of mine that went through a whole bunch of junk and drugs and all kind of stuff, hit the rock bottom, found Jesus, and he's been on fire for the last 4 years. And that, just stuff like that. It's just
That's
really cool to see some of that. So anyway, number one, the friends.
All right. My turn.
It's your turn, Troy.
All right, number 3, the Otters Club. There was this little club that existed that was not school affiliated.
Emmett Otter?
No, it was just called the Otters Club.
Okay. Wasn't the jug band?
No, this otter lived like in a beer can.
Oh,
with like the
okay.
logo.
Yeah?
Yeah, we had T-shirts and everything. And when I was a freshman, I got inducted with like 6 other freshmen into the Otters Club.
Okay.
We were the elite freshmen that got chosen to be in the Otters
It's like a fraternity.
Club.
But
The elite freshman.
It was like a high school fraternity. It really was. Because we always used to go to party at this one guy's house.
Was that the beginning of the downfall, or were you already gone?
Oh, I was already gone. Way
Okay.
gone. A lot of fun, though, with the Otters Club. Let's see, number 2 was Close Up. Close Up was a trip that the high school, they put it on. The juniors got to take a trip to D.C. every year and tour the Capitol and tour all the stuff in Washington. That was a really cool. Group of like 30 of us went, I think. Maybe more than that. I don't know. But it was a lot of fun. So that was back in 96. Long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
And then Showboat. Number 1. Showboat was the...
It's like spinning out in the driveway when you're in the parking lot when you're leaving.
yeah.
He's showboating.
Showboat was the talent show that Captain Shreve put on every year. And bands and singers and solo artists and everything would come try out. You had to try out to be in it. And then if you got picked, then you were in the program. And it was 2 nights.
So were you in it like playing Nirvana cover songs?
We didn't do Nirvana, but we did. My band was in it. I think we were in it 96.
So there's some tapes of this floating around?
Dude, I've been trying to find one for like 15 years.
Yeah?
And my buddy Kevin says his mom has one somewhere, but they haven't located it.
Okay.
But like 5 years after college, I was over at Chris Couch's house. He was the drummer in the band. We were good friends, and we were looking through the VHSs, and we were like, "Yeah, let's watch it." Our old, our old show. Well, we put it in and saw some of the acts, and then right when we were about to come up, it like did the.
It went to like Days of Our Lives or something.
It did freaking soap opera. And he's like, "No, my mom taped over it." And so there is no like record of it that we can find anywhere. But we played a Tool song, and we played a song that we wrote, and then we played a song by the Toadies.
Okay.
So it was a lot of fun.
One day coming to a YouTube channel near you.
Yeah, if I can ever find it, man, I'll put it up.
Were y'all any good? Are you going to watch this video and be like, oh gosh, never mind?
I mean, we were good. We didn't win.
Yeah.
But I mean,
What
we were
won?
good.
Like somebody doing
me and the same.
Twirling batons or something? Juggling?
No, there was a band that was like, they
Yeah.
came out and they tore it up. They
Yeah.
were insane. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Fun
Yeah.
things from high school. 30 years ago.
Well,
30 years ago.
not for Troy and I. I
Yeah.
mean, we were a lot less than that.
Yeah.
Well,
For you,
yep.
you're
Yep.
old.
Very, very, very old.
Old as dirt.
Matt, you got a good,
I
you got
think
a
when
good
I
word?
first, I think I do, but I think when I first met you, I don't know that you had that much gray. I think
I did not. I got all this gray after I met you.
me too.
Yeah. You've caused it.
Like I caught up.
You caused all this gray.
I might have.
Yeah.
I
Me
don't know.
too. Me too.
Okay, man.
You color yours, so you're not in. The,
Right. Psh.
Color it one time.
Well.
That's all it takes.
With you two, it does.
All right, good word today. Proverbs 19:21. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. So we have all of these things going on that we want to see changed and that we want to change, but ultimately it's the God's plan is what's going to prevail. And so I think that we should just pray for that. Maybe not necessarily an end to all these certain things, but maybe just a prayer that God's will be done.
It is God's will that you don't road rage.
It
Just
is.
so you know.
He wants you to love one another.
That's right.
So that's why I just do this.
Thumbs down.
It works so much better
Yeah.
than the
Just
thing.
I
Frown.
pray for you.
Frown at him and give him a thumbs down.
Man,
Oh, good.
Yeah.
that's what you give them right there because it takes them right off their game. You know, because you just I had somebody cut me off the other day, and so they pulled in front of me and then they slammed on their brakes and I'm like, dude, seriously? And then they get over in the other lane. And it's like, and then I end up pulling up next to them. And like, so they're in this little, like, I can't remember, like a Honda or some little Toyota or something like that, you know, and I'm in my big truck. And so, you know, in the truck, you know, you can kind of look down, you see like the whole person,
Yeah.
their lap, their feet on the pedals and everything like that. And just like, I'm disappointed in you. Like,
Yeah.
It works so much better than getting upset, you know, just like, man, do better,
Yeah.
you know?
I did something the other day to this is one of those situations, merging or whatever, and I allowed them to get out of the way of something. I don't know. But it's just like, you know what? I normally, you know, you could easily abide by the law and be a jerk here. I'm like, no, and I kind of backed out and I did the wave in. Like, no, it's okay. And they like responded with, oh, thank you so, you know, like, oh, you just, God bless you. Yeah. But as furious as I've seen some people, they were just that happy, you know. And I was like, oh, they're very.
I
appreciative.
typically will always try to let somebody in. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to block.
Unless you're in the right hand lane getting onto Kellogg, going east from the Central Business District, when you're trying to expect the zipper merge and it just doesn't happen.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you're polite and you try to let everybody in.
Yeah, when I'm on the highway, you know, I mean, if there's an issue or, you know, you on the highway driving, you got a semi that's coming on, you're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I'll get over and
Yeah, give a little light flash, and they give a little.
yeah, they give you the little light flash, or the car in front of you is like, oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. So
Yeah.
you slow down, you're like, hey, flash your lights so they can get over. And then they're like, They do the wave. I always do the wave. Somebody lets me in. Hey,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
I do the wave.
I do this.
All that
way.
to say, God's plan prevails.
God's plan does prevail.
Love prevails.
All right.
Love your neighbor. Let him in.
I am glad though that there are people and Christian people that are fighting against some of these things that need to be fought against.
Abortion.
Pedophiles, abortion,
Pedophilia.
all those things. Yeah.
All right. Before we go, you got an opportunity to hear me behind the pulpit at Metropolitan Baptist Church, May 26th, coming up at the Memorial Day weekend. Have an opportunity to preach. So if you want to see a hard-headed person live, join me at church on May 26th.
May 26th in the morning.
In the morning, 10:50 in the morning. We'll tell you more as it gets closer. I'll bring it up again, but just in case I forget, I wanted to get it out there.
All right.
See you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.